Welcome to Inside the Grid with Quanta Technology. This interview series will explore the lives of our employees who contribute their knowledge and skills to the power and energy industry. Today, we're speaking with Jeremiah Stevens.
My name is Jeremiah Stevens. I've been at Quanta Technology now for about 5 years. I've been working in the industry 19 years, I think, and I work from my home office in Wisconsin. Currently, my position is the Director of Transmission Protection. So the protection settings team is really just built with a good foundation of people, a diverse background, really a lot of different styles of problem solving, and I think everybody just wants to get to the best solution. They want to work together. Pretty universally helpful people. So working from home is pretty easy, from the sense that if somebody's icon is green, they're generally available, generally willing to talk. If you need help with something, if you have questions, just everybody is really helpful. They'll overextend themselves in order to help you get your job done, which is, it makes for a good environment. IBRs and the increase of IBR penetration is kind of a continued problem. We're starting to see lines that used to not have a whole lot of load because they're out going through the countryside, and now they're picking up solar farm after solar farm, and they're getting cut several times. And it's making for interesting settings. We have industry practices on how to deal with these IBRs, and because we have relatively low fault currents from the classical spinning generation, and now relatively more fault current potentially from IBRs, it's just making more interesting work as far as finding that right compromise to protect the system reliably. Again, with the IBRs, we recently had a project where there's a pair of long compensated lines. I forget how long they are, 180, 260 miles. They're long series compensated lines, a couple of capacitors, on each line, and it's been getting split. And initially, 15 years ago, when it was set the first time, it was straightforward, normal protection, look for minimum faults, look for maximum faults, impedances. It was all routine work. And now that line has been split 3 times. It's getting split again, and we're starting to get solar farms dropped on the line. So the fault current is changing dramatically, and it used to be a long compensated line. The compensation is still there, and now it's been split. So there's sections that are overcompensated. Yeah, it's just different. The line isn't what it used to be, and there's still relatively little fault current if you remove that IBR generation. If it's at night, there's no sun, we still have to detect these minimum fault conditions. And then during the daytime, there's potentially a lot more fault current. So just, again, going back to finding that compromise in your protection and what works. And, everything's being operated differently. The capacitors may or may not be in service. They're changing the way they do their reclosing, which sounds trivial, but it used to be a 200-mile line. Now it's a 50-mile line or a 30-mile line, and it's affecting kind of everything along the way. And what you were once comfortable with is no longer the goal. So it's just changing. It requires a little bit more coordination with the client. So we have our perspective as protection engineers, and we have to reach out to the client and make sure that that's how they're going to be operating the system. They're getting what they need out of it. Again, we're all just a team. I've managed to pick up a little bit of experience over the last, 18, 20 years, however long I've been working. So I can help people out from that perspective of I've got a little bit more history than most of them. But I reach out to the young guys as much as they reach out to me to find solutions. I'm just kind of part of the team because I don't really consider myself any different than anyone else. Honestly, it's just a remarkable bunch of people. When I interviewed here, I wasn't looking for a new job. I was just kind of looking at the opportunity and open-minded to it. And I was happy where I was. I thought I was going to retire where I was. Perfectly comfortable with my future. And I came here, again, you don't want to hear about the team, but just a remarkable group of people. And that's why I came here. Everybody's just kind of pleasant. They're all hardworking. They're all top of their field and helpful. It's just a pleasant place to be. When I was young, I used to enjoy mountain biking quite a bit. I used to enjoy fishing and skiing and a number of different hobbies. And now I've got kids. They're starting to get older. I still want to do what I used to do for fun, but I don't have fun the same way. So I think if there's one thing I really enjoy, it's doing what I used to do with my kids and making memories with the kids and giving them unique experiences and going out and just having fun and enjoying something that I used to do and bringing it with my kids. I think that's biggest passion, I guess I would say at this point.